Maybe just put it on mute, honestly, if you didn't already. Not the microphone, your phone.
I do.
So... Dolls Frontline, that story, huh?
Wait, are we going actually right now?
Yes.
Oh, great. That story. I'm gonna save my thoughts for last, just since I actually know some of it. I'm not gonna get too in detail because I don't want the section to be very long.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem here, right, is that you and I, at the very least, have familiarity with the story from the game. And unfortunately, the story from the game is not what's communicated in this anime.
Not in the slightest.
It's very, very different. Even if it's supposed to be covering the same theoretical events, it's just not covering them the way that the game did, which makes it very different, and it makes it, in my opinion, a lot fucking... I mean, I personally thought the game was hard to understand too, but that's just because gacha games with tons of chapters and hella grinding... It's hard to understand the story sometimes when you're stuck in 30 levels of grinding hell.
Yes.
But that was preferable to this.
Yeah, very much so.
I don't know. I couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
Also, maybe I just don't like the premise very much.
That could be an option.
I didn't have much of a problem with the premise. The problem is that the premise was kind of as shallow as you could get. World War III happened. Robots in the shape of women.
No, specifically guns in the shape of women.
Yeah. And they fight. And that's about all we get as far as world building in this anime.
Yeah. That's, at least as far as the anime goes, that's really all you get.
I can give you the benefit of the doubt that there's a lot more world building. It's a pre-existing franchise. The mobile game is fairly popular. I heard that people really like its story.
Yeah.
But
they really took a nosedive with this adaptation. I can't say it enough.
Things just kind of happen here.
You can laugh. You don't gotta sit there dying.
No. I'm just laughing on the inside. I don't want to bite to you and figure out what the hell's going on. This is just going to be a secret.
Well, you got any comments for him?
What the fucking hell was this story? I couldn't keep up with it. It's why are there just zombie dolls left around? This is supposed to be military equipment. Why the hell do you leave that just lying around the middle of nowhere? We ain't in Ukraine. We ain't on the active war field right now.
I don't know.
Actually, no. This game taking place in post-World War III Russia.
Fam, I don't know if you've ever been around a country that has a giant military, but the U.S. leaves abandoned military shit everywhere.
There are completely uninhabitable parts of the world because we've left so many mines.
Yeah, literally every major country with huge military stakes just leaves shit.
I'm pretty sure a good amount of the Taliban's weapons, their arms, are from abandoned U.S. military equipment.
There are huge amounts of spaces here in the U.S. on our soil that are full of abandoned military crap.
Yes.
That is not the surprising thing. There are entire fields of abandoned military equipment in the Soviet, the former socialist republics.
Because it's easier to drop stuff in than it is to get stuff out.
Yeah, especially when you're planting things like mines.
Yeah.
We don't always get our people out in time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not...
That is the single most believable part of this story, is that there's a bunch of military equipment that are being found and hacked.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I am being assaulted. Oh, that's the third time. It's so cute, but it's so weirdly warm.
Dog breath kisses. She's going for round 3.
Anyways, but yeah, no, that is not there is literally an entire genre of urbex exploring on YouTube that is urbex exploring abandoned military shit. There is an underground NATO base somewhere in Switzerland that was abandoned with everything still in it that you can crawl through air vents to get into and explore.
Well, that's great to know now.
Do you know what they do with abandoned tanks in Russia? They make them exhibits in public parks. I played on tanks as a child.
Yeah, no, that's not surprising. I at least hope they actually freaking pulled out the firing pin at least.
You don't know. That's the fun part.
This might play into the pacing compared to the mobile game, but I felt like one of the anime story's biggest problems is that whenever a villain was introduced, we never actually got to have them as an overarching villain. They would die within like the first episode or two of their introduction.
Yes, and that's the thing. Because since like I said, this took over the play like over the course of like essentially 6 or 7
You covered
acts.
like 6 chapter bosses.
Yeah.
So like
and
this
so,
is like
and so they would play, and so you would have them as the antagonists throughout the entire chapter,
oh,
and then you wouldn't
But
get
the
to fight
chapters
them.
moved so fast in the anime.
Yeah.
So this is
And
like
then-
if you took an entire FGO singularity and compacted it into one
Yes.
episode of
That's
Yes,
it.
that
That's
is
the rule.
exactly it.
Yep.
So
That's
you-
why I said that's why the pacing is off.
Yeah, because they're consolidating an entire chapter into one single episode. Sometimes they even went so far as to fit half of a chapter into one episode. I noticed, and it was so bad. It was so bad.
Like, say what you will about really bad FGO chapters, they just throw enemies at you and then nothing happens. But like, trying to condense even those chapters that had a lot of those into 1 or 2 episodes feels like an actual mistake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. This is like if Babylonia just covered every singularity in FGO, the game. This is the pacing comparison here.
Yeah.
Imagine if in the course of the 24 episode Babylonia, it had covered all of FGO.
So like, we didn't watch an anime, we watched a 12 episode recap for an entire part of Girls Frontline.
But you missed all the night missions and the entire night plot line because they didn't include that.
Yeah.
And that there is a separate. I mean, you're right. There is a. So we missed half of the plot line that was present in the games
Yeah.
at the same time.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
feel like FGO if they skipped all the like side quests and side stories and just did like the story chapters only.
Speaking of games with boring main characters, well, what about that commander?
So
Commander Chan.
yeah, so the thing is, obviously the problem here is that since you're the self-insert commander in the video game, there's not as much opportunity.
That's the joke we're making with the FGO. It's the same thing. You
Yeah.
get like this like copy paste character, you know, where you are this character, but now we're like it's the problem of Stay Night where what's his face has no fucking character.
Shirach has a lot of character on his own because of the way the visual novel is written. It wasn't written to be first person self-insert.
Yeah, but it fucking sucks in 2016.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. It feels like
This is more like a more accurate comparison is your modern isekai protagonist from generic isekai animes.
I don't know.
Even
fam.
those
I'm pretty
have
sure
more
even
character
those
than
have
this.
more character than this.
Mm.
Like I have watched a truly ungodly amount of isekai. We are all aware of this.
Yeah.
And every single one of those has more character than this person.
I don't know. There's a couple of them.
Like,
Do you want me to hurt you?
no. Chief Pharmacist.
Yeah.
Chief Pharmacist has a shitty ass main character too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the main character, like, I don't mind them specifically, but one character that I was kind of shocked that they portrayed the way that they did was the assistant Kalina. I was not expecting them to portray her the way that they did, because the thing is, in the game, she's the annoyingly peppy assistant that loves money in the game.
Yeah, that didn't shine through at all.
No money loving, yet nothing.
No. There's nothing like that. None. They completely stripped her of her any sort of thing, any semblance of her from the game.
You know what this feels like?
What?
This adaptation feels like I feel the same way about this adaptation that I felt about the Persona 3 movies.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, to someone who has played the game, this is more content in the realm of the game. Like, you're getting to see, like, animation and, like, some fights animated. But it's just... It does not stand alone
Yeah.
without your own knowledge of the series and, like, the game and the story. Like,
Yeah.
This does not stand on its own.
No.
Even a little bit.
It does
Just
not.
like the Persona 3 movies.
It's interesting what cutting out a lot of what you feel are unimportant bits can do.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
why I'm kind of hesitant when we look at like recap movies of entire anime or like One Piece arcs.
Yeah, because they cut out so many little details that you think are unimportant, but are actually kind of important.
But in reality, those 50 episodes of filler are important to getting close to that character.
Yeah.
Even if you don't particularly enjoy that filler.
My joy and my pain.
Yeah. So this is kind of this thing, and I have yet to see a good like RPG adaptation. I think the only one that does it successfully somewhat, and we'll get to it at some point, is the Persona 4 Golden animation.
I think Babylonia is pretty good.
Yeah. But there's more examples of bad adaptations than there are good ones.
Yeah.
So it's a really fine line, and it's kind of hard in a lot of cases to actually make something good out of this.
Because oftentimes the stories of RPGs are a lot more text heavy, so they're okay, Billy. They're a lot more text heavy, so you don't think about how much importance that text actually has when they start trying to make it fit in your
Especially because sometimes when you're playing games like that, you just skip over the text. Like, I'm not gonna lie, when I'm playing a game like FGO or Girls Frontline or something like that, I skip over the fucking text as fast as I can. I don't always read it. I just click next, or skip, because I don't care about the text as much as I do about like just getting through the game and leveling up and getting characters and doing stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do that, and so.
Yeah.
You know.
So it's a thing, like because there's so many different other aspects of it that they're just missing as well. Like I can't get into all of it because then if you guys, I doubt you guys will decide to play the game. But point is, just go play the game, or just go watch a playthrough of it on YouTube, something like that. You do yourself more favor to it if you actually care about the story.
When I hear like how you skip dialogue like that, that sounds like someone who doesn't like visual novels. If you don't like visual novels, a lot of these gotcha game stories aren't.
No, this is not about me and the way that I play games. Fuck off. Fuck off. This is not about me and the way I play games. Fuck off.
You'll really like Elden Ring then. In this case, I'm waiting for you to find
like that's a person who doesn't play games for story, so can't read visual novels.
When your bitch has Elden Ring money, your bitch will play Elden Ring. But at the moment, I am saving for Hogwarts Legacy and One Piece Odyssey.
I don't think it's rare I ever see anyone stick with a gacha game a long time and they don't actually read the story. Usually they drop it after the first couple months.
Yeah.
I stuck with Love Nikki for like 4 years and I never read a single piece of story dialogue.
Didn't you also only log in sporadically?
Oh no, I had a streak going.
I don't know enough about Love Nikki to know the appeal of its story there.
There's a lot of story. I just don't pay attention to
I will defend the Girls Frontline game, though, here, just on the account that I know it's a visual novel and I know those turn a crowd of people off.
Yeah. So, but I'd say, like, the other problem was, too, is that the main leading girls in this one, they also didn't get their fair share, because the only one who got any amount, really, of kind of development, I guess, would be AR-15 in this one. And it was very poorly done.
I'm gonna be real honest. I don't remember which one was which.
Yeah,
the one that did that.
The one that committed self-die at the very end.
Seppuku.
Yeah. So
I don't think seppuku usually involves a grenade.
That was a grenade.
What? Creative interpretation.
Look, seppuku either involves a sword, a knife, or it involves a box with a bunch of numbers in it.
Yeah.
Oh, you fucking boy. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. We don't really get character development for anyone. There is no character.
Not even the other separate commanders. None.
No.
So.
And you know what the worst part is? We don't get it for villains either.
No, we don't.
Get no character for anyone. At least sometimes, if there's like no character on like the main character, sometimes like the villains will be really fleshed out or some shit. No, not even here. No.
Like, and it was really disappointing because I actually really liked the villains in the game too. The villains are really cool, and they're even. And the thing is that in later chapters and events, the villains get even better. There's even more going on.
Yeah, I think I can safely say that this is not getting continuation.
No.
No.
It is currently sitting at like a 5.8 on Mal.
I did some
Yeah.
research on fan demand for a second season, and it is not there. They just want it rebooted.
Yeah, honestly.
I don't think it'll get rebooted anytime soon.
No.
It is a Chinese gacha game. It's very possible it pulls the Chinese studio picks it up instead of a Japanese studio.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
Chinese, right now, the Chinese industry is doing so well making chibi versions of it, and those are cheaper and faster to produce. A lot of animes just get chibi versions in China. Like,
Yeah,
I've
like
seen
they might just go,
tons.
they might just honestly go instead of trying to
continue with
actually
the chibis.
yeah, they might just if anything, yeah, they'll just continue with the chibi
I mean,
series.
I will say, being someone who is very much into Chinese anime these days, like, more and more things in China are getting proper anime adaptations.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
Chinese
yeah.
anime is increasing in quality exponentially by, like, in terms of, like, increase to time spent on it. So, I mean, that's always a chance. But I watch a couple other series where it's just, like, chibi adaptations, and they just keep announcing new chibi adaptations if that's what's going to make them money.
Yeah,
I'm currently on, like,
currently-
season 4 on this one chibi adaptation of a thing.
I
You
think
know?
as more Chinese anime come out, though, existing franchises and money tends to talk.
Yeah. So, I mean, do we even want to bother with waifu
I
wars
don't
with the-
have a waifu because I can't remember any of them. I'm sorry.
All right.
It's-
So I think this is the one anime where we're gonna actively skip
I mean, do
waifu
you two
wars.
have waifus?
Sopma 2, just solely because I feel like she's that right amount of crazy.
She's
No.
even crazier in the mobile game too.
No, but I
Oh.
need to give a shout out to the commanders that were not our main characters. Some of them were actually kind of entertaining to see on screen.
I do have a waifu, and it's only because I know them from the mobile game. That waifu is Kruger.
Yeah, it's.
Kruger.
I don't mean to like stop waifu wars. It's just I genuinely can't remember any of these characters enough to pick one.
So you mean so basically you could just take a random scene from the anime and say the floor is your waifu or the wall.
Except I
That
don't like
boy.
the animation or the music, so I can't even say it's the OP or the ED.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Seki just has no waifu for this one.
Seki's a judgmental bitch. What can I say?
Yeah.
I am nothing if not a cruel and cold-hearted person
Yeah.
who loves literally everything and cries at puppies.
Wait, so those commanders we actually did see, like, in the anime, we do see in game.
No. The only one that you do there's only like 3, maybe 4 of them that you see. That was Helianthius, the gray-haired girl,
Okay.
Kalina,
Uh-huh.
and Kruger. Those are the only 3 that you actually see in game. All the other commanders are just implied to be there.
Wait, but
They're implied,
Kruger's
never
the-
shown.
The Kruger's the head, though, isn't he?
Kruger's the head, yes, but he's also a commander.
Oh, okay.
Commander of Commander. I am Ozymandias, King of Kings.
Oh.
I am Kruger, Commander of Commanders.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sorry, I just forgetting my brain.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll be back. We'll talk to you next time. Like,
Question.
comment, subscribe.
Yeah.